emergency response to the war in Ukraine has focused in on the nearly 4 million people who have fled for safety, including 1.8 million children. UNICEF has scaled up its efforts to help protect and take care of those children and their families. UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and actor Orlando Bloom joins us now to talk about UNICEF's efforts. Orlando, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's great that you're there.
So you recently went to Moldova to meet some of the refugees staying there. Tell us about the people who you met and also share some of their stories.
I did, yeah, I was there last week. I think one of the things that struck me sort of immediately is that in Moldova, nearly 80% of the refugees arriving in Moldova are staying in host families. I met a remarkable man called Hugo who'd had, I believe, 20 families already through his home within the first 3 weeks, so 4 weeks as soon as the war began. And he was rather wonderful, actually. He even called them special guests rather than refugees. He was a really remarkable man.
Special guests, is probably a more endearing term, as you say. And UNICEF has established these blue dot hubs for families seeking refuge. Explain what these blue dot spaces are.
Yeah, so in Moldova and along the border there, basically when the women and children come in, and I'm sure as you're experiencing, they're just completely shell-shocked. And so it's an opportunity for them to, the women can hand over their children in a safe space. The children can have a sense of connection to play and toys, and they can just take a moment and then rest, have a meal, and then also sort of think about where they might be going next and what the future holds and what their options are. And
you talked about, many of the mothers leaving with their children. In some cases, it's children alone who are fleeing by themselves. What's the concern for unaccompanied or separated children, and what do we need to do in order to protect them?
The amazing thing about the Blue Dot is that they'll register families, they'll take any documentation they have so that they can know who they are and where they are. But as you say, undocumented, underage, undocumented children traveling alone are, of course, the major concern is that they get trafficked and taken into society in a way that is out of our hands or out of our knowing, and then, who knows what happens. So it's really what UNICEF has done is register families and unaccompanied minors.
And Moldova is among the poorest countries in Europe, and yet still they are opening their doors to their neighbors in Ukraine. What can you say about the generosity of the people of Moldova?
It's truly, truly remarkable. I mentioned, Hugo, of course, that everybody I met, they just rolled up their sleeves and are doing everything they can. They understand. I think, having been through their own conflicts, of course, and not so long ago themselves, they are just remarkable, really. We visited another center where, there are so many volunteers who are helping with the children. I'm seeing the photographs now, and they come in and out, and these young women and men come in to just play with the kids and engage with them and create this safe space and build toys, and it's psychosomatic care, all of the essential things that you can imagine that and even that you can't think of. UNICEF's providing on the ground, which is a great relief.
And you've been a UNICEF ambassador since 2009. What first inspired you to get involved?
I think it's that the children, and this really is a child's refugee crisis, are the most vulnerable and are in need of our attention more than anyone. And obviously, UNICEF is this remarkable organization that's been doing this, and I've seen it now I've been on so many field trips, many over the years, but I suppose my love of life and my appreciation of having kids of my own. I have an 11 and a 2.5-year-old, and the idea that either of my children or anyone's children should be going through what we cannot really fathom. It's not until you're sitting or standing in front of these children that you really feel the grief and the pain and how fortunate we are.
Yeah, certainly they will need help for many months and years to come. For our viewers who would like to help these refugees, or as you referred to them so aptly, so appropriately as the special guests, how can people help and get involved with UNICEF?
I think you can go onto the website and you can certainly give whatever you can to help them to continue doing the work that they do, essentially. You know, I spoke to so many friends who were like, we're coming over, we want to be there. And of course, everybody, the instance, you know, that you see this and you understand that everybody wants to go. And of course, there's so much, I have so much sort of admiration for that, as I felt I needed to see it. But UNICEF is on the ground, and they've been doing this for a long time. And as I say, I was in the Ukraine just 4 years ago with in eastern Ukraine, and so they have this they have an understanding of that. So if there's anything, really, it's to give what you can to the organization so that they can get the work done and continue to do the great work that they're doing.
Orlando Bloom, we thank you so much for the great work that you are doing, and also appreciate your time and joining us tonight. And to our viewers, here's how you can help. Head to unicefusa.org/ABC.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.